Hey everybody, Chef Lorious here, back with another recipe. Today we're cooking up a classic comfort food, smothered pork chops. You'll want to pay attention because this one is so good, it'll make you want to slap your mama, but don't. All right everybody, let's get cooking. Let's start with our basic ingredients. First, we've got standard bone-in pork chops. I don't recommend boneless chops for this. Something about the bone in the pork chop really helps with the flavor of the entire dish. Secondly, I don't recommend thin-cut chops because the meat itself is not thick enough to really get moist and absorb all of the flavors that are going to come as we smother them. So I recommend standard cut, like this, bone-in pork chops. You can use thick cut chops as well, just know it'll adjust your cooking time because they're so thick, okay? In addition to that, we've got a house seasoning that we're using today, which has got onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, seasoned pepper, and some crushed red pepper flakes in it. We're also going to be using some sliced green bell peppers and onions and celery for our gravy, some minced garlic here, and we also have some flour that we'll use to thicken our gravy with when we smother our chops. Let's get cooking. First thing we're gonna do is season our meat. Now I'm always telling you guys, season your meat. After you've seasoned your meat on both sides, I always recommend going in and just pushing the seasoning in just to make sure everything is firmly planted within that meat. We're going to start by frying our pork chops briefly. We're not trying to fry them so that they're completely done. We're just trying to get them brown. So I've put my seasoning on them. I have a tray here of some flour. I'm just going to dip the pork chop in the flour on both sides, dredge it evenly. Again, we're not overdoing it because we're not frying these pork chops, but this will help our gravy thicken up. And I'm placing it in some hot oil and my cast iron skillet. You can use any kind of skillet you want with this. I like cast iron because it just does some, I don't know. Y'all, I got a thing with cast iron. I don't know what it is. I'm not trying to figure it out. But cast iron is your friend. Don't overcrowd your pot, because if you overcrowd it, your food's not going to cook all the way. It's just going to mess up the timing, okay? And again, we're not cooking these to be all the way done. We're just trying to get them brown and a little crispy on the outside. So this won't take long at all. Once your chops are nice and golden brown, just like that, you're just going to put them on a paper towel. Drain the excess fat and continue frying until all of your pork chops are in the same shape, golden brown. Now that our pork chops are all ready, we're going to begin making our gravy. I've added a little more oil to this pot, left what was in there initially because I want the flavor of the pork chop to be in the gravy as well. I'm using peanut oil today, but you can use vegetable oil or canola oil, any kind of oil you like. I just happen to like peanut oil. I don't know, I have a thing for peanuts. So apparently peanut oil is my new thing. This is some minced garlic. And here are some celery, bell pepper, and yellow onions that have been diced up. We're going to add all of these together and cook them until they're just nice and soft. I'm going to sprinkle in about 2 tablespoons of flour. I like thick gravy, but if you don't like your gravy as thick, really it's easy, just put less flour in there. And also remember that these pork chops were fried with flour on them as well, so that's also going to serve to thicken up our gravy. I'm going to add some more of that seasoning that we used on our pork chops to this as well, just so that everything is consistent in the flavor. That's about a tablespoon of that seasoning. Ooh. Well, I'm telling you, this is the kind of meal you cook when you're a little in trouble and you're trying to get back on somebody's good side. Or, this is a celebration meal. Oh, I wish you guys could smell it in here. This is smelling good. Okay, what I'm going to do next, you know I like seasoning, you guys. Now we're going to add some chicken broth to this. Now I'm using a kind of low sodium chicken broth. And I'm doing that because there's saltiness in the meat and everything else. And you're going to just pour about a cup of this or 2 cups. This is your gravy. So you're really going to pour as much as you like. I had 4 cups in here. Oops, okay. And just start stirring that up. This is your gravy. And what you're going to do after this gravy starts to get together really nicely is you're going to put the pork chops back in here, cover it up, and put it in the oven. Hey guys, so as you saw in that pan that I was using, the cast iron, there wasn't enough room for all the pork chops. So what I decided to do was to show you how to finish them on the stove top, which I'm doing in the cast iron skillet, but I'm also making some more gravy on the side, and I'm going to show you how to finish them in the oven. So you'll see two ways to do this, on the stove top and in the oven. All right? So over here, we have our pork chops cooking on the stove top, and here we have another pan of gravy I made, just like the first one I showed you. I've taken the rest of the pork chops, put them in this dish here, and I'm going to pour this gravy all over these chops, just like this. I'm hoping you see that. Okay, then I'm going to take the top to this dish, cover it up, put it in the oven, and bake it on 400 degrees. Well, both of our dishes are done, and wait till you see how beautiful they are. First, we have the chops we left cooking on the stove. Look how beautiful these came out. I turned them down very low and let them simmer. See how this gravy thickened up very nicely? Just beautiful. And for the one that we placed in the oven, look at that. It smells so good. The gravy thickened up as well. And all we have to do is just spoon a little on there. Oh, this is going to be delicious. So you see, you can do smothered pork chops on the stove or in the oven. And for the moment we've all been waiting for, the taste test. This is absolutely delicious. Well, thank you for joining me today. Serve this with some nice rice, or with mashed potatoes, or with stuffing, whatever you choose. Just make sure you get to take that extra gravy and spread it all around. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being with me today. Make some smothered pork chops. Give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Look forward to seeing you again real soon right here with Chef Lorious. Take care and happy cooking.